So today we're going to be replacing a bad heat reclaim valve. I've already recovered the refrigerant and threaded off this equalizer that's over here on this side here. This just goes directly over to the low side of the system. We're running a 404A in the system, and this is on a freezer. What this thing does is it sends the refrigerant, which has just been compressed, from the compressor, and depending on if the coil is energized or not, it will either send the refrigerant into the coil down here, or it will send it to this line set, which goes all the way up onto the roof, which is a long way from here. What this one did is it failed kind of between the two, so it was pushing some refrigerant each direction. It wouldn't like fully close and open the port, and it was letting a ton of refrigerant by this bleed here, which was causing the unit to run excessively long. Cold, cold, hot, really cold. It's also very important that you turn off the power to the coil before you take it off, because it will overheat. So we have the power currently shut off to it, and that will prevent it from burning up. So there's the old one. I actually just unbrazed these. They don't generally recommend unbrazing, especially with things like filter dryers, because you can push moisture back into the system out of the component you're taking out. But in limiting piping situations where you have fittings that are tight, I typically just like to unbraze, because I maybe had enough pipe that I could cut all of these and just rebend them, but it wasn't a lot, so I actually went ahead and unbrazed it. New valve is sitting in position. I'm going to wrap it really well with a wet rag, and we will raise it up. I have about 10 psi in the system that I added in so I can check for those leaks. Now I'm going to pull a vacuum on it. I just like to check it with a little bit of positive pressure before I actually vac it out. On these big systems, it takes a really long time to actually get all the refrigerant out, or get all the air out. So if you check it first, you can save yourself a lot of time. So now I'm adding in the refrigerant, just dumping it straight into the high side here. See, this line got really cold pretty much instantly. You can actually see the river of refrigerant coming through. Apparently this valve leaks a little bit. A lot, actually. So the system's running. Currently our solenoid valve is off, which means it is sending the refrigerant into the basement. So this line right here is really hot. It's coming up from the compressor, going through and coming down on this line, getting condensed here. That's throwing all the heat into the basement, which you want during the winter. And then it's sending it into these receivers and up through the liquid line here. Which looks like nice, running nice and clear. We're gonna go ahead and switch it to the on-roof coils. So we should be able to feel this line right now is cold, but it should get hot right after we switch it. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Hear that? Yep, and this line right here is now getting nice and hot, sending all that refrigerant up to the roof. Really nice and hot. This line is like already too hot to touch. So now this line right here is cold already again. Well, it's not cold, but it's not hot anymore. And all the refrigerant is passing right up through this, and this is really hot. And then it's coming back as a liquid through here, through that spun filter dryer and down. So that's it for the heat reclaim valve. Hope that you found this video helpful or interesting, and talk to you later.